fear. It can feel like an enemy, a barrier blocking our path forward. It whispers doubts, amplifies risks, and can paralyze us when action is needed most. But what if fear isn't just an adversary? What if it's a compass pointing towards growth, towards the very challenges that can make us stronger? The ancient Stoic philosophers understood this paradox. Thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus didn't ignore fear. They studied it, dissected it, and developed powerful strategies to master it. They saw fear not as something to be eradicated, but as a natural human response to be understood and navigated with wisdom and courage. Their insights, forged in the crucible of ancient challenges, remain remarkably relevant today. In this video, we will explore 5 powerful Stoic strategies. These are practical tools, honed over centuries, designed to help you confront fear, understand its true nature, and move forward with resilience and purpose. This is the Stoic Leadership, ancient wisdom for modern leaders. Let's begin the journey to mastering fear. Our first strategy is fundamental. You must clarify what you are truly afraid of. Fear often operates in the shadows, its power magnified by vagueness and uncertainty. To diminish its hold, you need to bring it into the light. Identify the root cause, the specific scenario, the exact outcome that triggers your anxiety. Is it the fear of failure, rejection, pain, or something else entirely? Distinguish between a genuine, immediate threat and mere discomfort or potential inconvenience. Seneca, the Roman Stoic playwright and statesman, observed this human tendency centuries ago. He wisely noted that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Our minds are incredibly adept at conjuring worst-case scenarios, painting vivid pictures of disaster that rarely come to pass. Fear thrives in this mental fog of undefined worries. Your task is to cut through that fog with the sharp blade of clarity. Name the specific fear. Write it down. Look at it directly. Often, when examined closely, the fear loses much of its power. You might realize it's not a signal of danger, but a signal of potential growth, indicating you are stepping outside your comfort zone. This act of naming and owning your fear is the first step towards disarming it. It transforms an amorphous dread into a specific challenge you can analyze and address. So, take a moment, write your fear, name it, own it. This simple act of definition is the beginning of mastery. The second powerful Stoic strategy is to rigorously separate what you control from what you do not. This principle is the bedrock of Stoic philosophy and a potent antidote to fear. Much of our fear stems from attempting to control things that are fundamentally outside our direct influence. We worry about outcomes, about other people's opinions, about unpredictable external events. The Stoics teach us to focus our energy and attention solely on what is within our power. This includes our thoughts, our judgments, our desires, our actions, and our character. Epictetus, the former slave who became a renowned Stoic teacher, articulated this clearly in his Enchiridion. He stated, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us." He explained that things like our body, possessions, reputation, and political office are not up to us. Things like our opinions, impulses, desires, and aversions are up to us. Fear grows exponentially when we invest our emotional energy in trying to manipulate or guarantee external results. When we tie our sense of security or success to things we cannot control, we become hostages to fortune. True courage, from a Stoic perspective, isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to do your duty, to act virtuously, regardless of the outcome. Your duty is within your control, the outcome is not. By focusing on your effort, your mindset, your preparation, and your response to events, you reclaim your power. You control your intention and your action. Let go of the need to control the results, the reactions of others, or the circumstances fate throws your way. Direct your will towards what is yours to command, your inner state and your virtuous conduct. This radical acceptance of what is beyond your control, combined with diligent focus on what is within it, dramatically shrinks the territory where fear can take root. Control your effort, control your mindset, control your response. Let the rest go. This is the path to inner freedom and resilience. Our third strategy is the practice of Premeditatio Malorum, or the premeditation of adversity. This might sound counterintuitive. Why dwell on potential negatives? The Stoics weren't pessimists. They were realists preparing for reality. This practice involves intentionally contemplating and visualizing potential challenges, setbacks, and difficulties before they occur. It means asking yourself, what could go wrong? What obstacles might I face? How would I handle that? Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, began his meditations by preparing himself for the difficult people he might encounter each day. He anticipated resistance, unfairness, and misunderstanding. By mentally rehearsing these potential hardships, the Stoics aimed to rob them of their power to shock and overwhelm. When adversity strikes, it feels less like a sudden catastrophe and more like something you have already considered. This preparation transforms potential panic into preparedness. It allows you to think through solutions, develop contingency plans, and mentally steel yourself for the possibility of things not going as hoped. Visualizing obstacles doesn't invite them. It prepares you to meet them with composure. It's like a fire drill for your mind, ensuring you know how to react when the alarm sounds. When the feared event or challenge arises, instead of feeling defeated or blindsided, you might experience a sense of déjà vu. Ah, yes, your prepared mind says, I've considered this possibility. This mental rehearsal builds resilience. It reduces the element of surprise that often amplifies fear. You become less reactive and more thoughtful in the face of difficulty. Premeditatio Malorum is not about expecting the worst in a debilitating way. It's about preparing for potential realities so that you can face them with greater calm and effectiveness. Anticipate the storm, not to dread it, but to ensure your ship is ready to sail through it. This foresight is a powerful weapon against the paralyzing grip of fear. The fourth Stoic strategy is the practice of voluntary discomfort. This involves intentionally exposing yourself to uncomfortable situations or experiences, not out of masochism, but as a form of training. The Stoics understood that fear often stems from our attachment to comfort and our aversion to hardship. By willingly stepping outside our comfort zones, we reduce fear's power over us. This could mean choosing a simpler meal, taking a cold shower, walking instead of driving, or engaging in a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. It's about actively seeking experiences that challenge your preferences for ease. Seneca famously advocated for this practice, suggesting one should occasionally live on simple fare and wear plain clothes to test one's resilience. He would ask himself, is this what I feared? By voluntarily experiencing minor hardships, you build confidence in your ability to endure. You learn that you are more resilient than you thought, and that many things you fear losing or experiencing are not truly unbearable. Each act of voluntary discomfort is a small victory over fear. It shrinks the territory that fear occupies in your mind and expands your capacity for courage and endurance. It teaches you that you can function, and even thrive, without constant comfort and security. This realization is incredibly liberating and diminishes the power of fears related to loss or hardship. This practice inoculates you against the fear of future adversity. You develop a quiet confidence that whatever comes, you have the inner strength to face it. Embrace discomfort willingly. Seek out challenges that stretch you. Each time you do, fear loses a little more of its grip, and your courage grows stronger. The fifth and perhaps most profound Stoic strategy for mastering fear is to align your actions with virtue, rather than focusing solely on the outcome. Fear often arises when we are overly attached to specific results: success, approval, avoiding loss. This attachment makes us vulnerable to anything that threatens that desired outcome. The Stoics taught that our highest good lies in living a virtuous life, acting with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These virtues are entirely within our control. When faced with a fearful situation, instead of asking, "What outcome do I want?" ask, "What is the virtuous thing to do here?" Focus on acting with integrity, honesty, and courage, regardless of how things turn out. True courage, in the Stoic sense, is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act rightly despite feeling afraid. It is choosing virtue even when it is difficult or unpopular. When your primary goal is to act in accordance with your deepest values, the fear of external consequences diminishes. Your worth is no longer tied to success or failure in the eyes of the world, but to the integrity of your character. This shift in focus is incredibly empowering. It frees you from the anxiety of trying to control uncontrollable outcomes and anchors you to the solid ground of your own character. Acting with virtue provides an inner compass that guides you through fear. It ensures that even if you fail to achieve a desired outcome, you succeed in remaining true to yourself. This is the ultimate mastery over fear, recognizing that the only thing truly worth fearing is compromising your own integrity. When you prioritize virtue, fear loses its power to dictate your actions. We have explored 5 powerful Stoic strategies for mastering fear. Clarify what you're really afraid of. Separate what you control. Use Premeditatio Malorum. Practice voluntary discomfort. And align with virtue, not outcome. These aren't abstract philosophical concepts. They are practical tools for navigating the challenges of modern life. They teach us to understand fear, to focus our energy wisely, to prepare for adversity, to build resilience through practice, and to anchor our actions in unwavering principle. Fear is a natural part of the human experience. It is a signal, sometimes of danger, often of opportunity for growth. The Stoics teach us not to suppress it, but to understand it and to act wisely in its presence. The call to action is simple, yet profound. Act anyway. Act with clarity, focusing on what is within your power. Act with foresight, prepared for potential difficulties. Act with resilience, having tested your own strength. And most importantly, act with virtue. Let your character be your guide, not your fear of outcomes. By applying these ancient strategies, you can transform your relationship with fear. You can move from being controlled by it to using it as a guide, stepping forward with courage, wisdom, and unwavering integrity. Stay stoic in the Stoic leadership.